3 days ago, I was in my home office going through some paperwork when my phone pinged with a text from my fiancée, Lauren. We'd been together for 2 years and were set to marry in 4 months. The message read, "He seems completely oblivious. Sarah, in just a few days, I till convince him to put my name on the house deed. After the wedding, I till control everything. He hasn't sept even mentioned a prenup because he trusts me. This is almost too easy." I stared at the screen in shock for about 30 seconds. Then another text came. "Oops, babe. That was meant for someone else. Just joking with Sarah about the TV show we said are obsessed with." Lauren had always been sloppy when trying to hide things. I used to think it was nerves, but now I realized it was arrogance. She had been so confident in her plan, assuming I was gullible, that she slipped up. This wasn't a mistake. It was overconfidence. I immediately took screenshots of both messages and did what any reasonable person would. I called my attorney Mark. "Hey Mark, quick hypothetical," I said. "If someone lives in my house but is sit on the deed or lease, how fast can I legally remove them?" Mark chuckled. "Not so hypothetical, huh? What seps happening?" I sent him the screenshots while we spoke. After a pause he explained. Lauren had moved in 18 months ago. The house, inherited from my grandmother and fully paid off, was solely in my name. Recently, she had been nudging me about adding her name to the deed, citing security with our upcoming wedding. I had been warming to the idea. Love can cloud judgment, but she had made a critical mistake. She wasn't a tenant. She was a licensee at will. No rent, no lease. In our state, I could revoke her permission to stay with reasonable notice. Mark assured me we could handle this quickly and legally. That same day, I met Mark at his office, and within hours, we had a plan. The next day, I went home and acted normal. Lauren was on the sofa watching TV, smiling when I walked in. "Hey honey, how was your day?" she asked. "Not bad. Pretty productive," I replied. She patted the couch. I sat, forcing myself not to dwell on how many times she had lied. Then she said, "Playing with my fingers, with the wedding coming up, maybe we should think about putting my name on the house, for security. What if something happens to you?" There it was, the pitch. "I'll think it over," I said neutrally. She grinned and kissed my cheek. "You're the best. Oh, and Sarah wants to go dress shopping this weekend." "Sure," I said. That night, I slept in the spare room, claiming I was feeling unwell. She didn't question it. The next morning, I left early for work, but instead I met Mark to finalize the legal steps. By 10 a.m., I transferred all joint account funds into a new account under my name. By noon, a locksmith had changed every lock in the house. At 12:30 p.m., a formal eviction notice was posted. By 1 p.m., movers arranged by Mark began packing Lauren's belongings. 3 hours later, everything was in a storage unit, paid for 1 month, more than legally required, but fair. At 5:47 p.m., Lauren texted, "Babe, the door one's set open. Is the lock jammed?" I replied, "Check the notice on the door." 3 minutes of silence. Then my phone blew up with calls. I ignored them, and eventually replied, "Your things are at safe storage on Oak Street, Unit 47. First month paid, car keys in the garage lockbox, code 4567. Lauren Sepp's messages became frantic. "Andrew, please. We can talk. You can just kick me out. I live here. You stayed here. Big difference," I replied. "Contact me only through my lawyer." His number's on the notice. Then I blocked her. Security footage captured the chaos. She went from crying to yelling to attempting to break in through the back door, eventually calling everyone she knew, including Sarah, on speaker near the camera. "He knows. I don't know how, but he knows," she wailed. Sarah's reply was merciless. "I told you not to text about it." "God, Lauren, how could you be so cocky? You screwed yourself. Was your name added anywhere? Lauren hadn't. Sarah told her she was done. Later, I learned Derek, her ex, had been coaching her on similar schemes. A week after the eviction, things escalated. Lauren showed up at my workplace, claiming she had nowhere to go. Security escorted her out after she caused a scene. I showed my boss the texts, and he was stunned. Then came social media. Lauren claimed I kicked her out for no reason. Her friends attacked me online. I responded by posting the screenshots. Reactions were immediate. Half went silent. Others dismissed it as a joke. Sarah tried to spin it, claiming I was controlling, though I had never met her. Lauren's mother, Margaret, called. Andrew, why did I hear you made my daughter homeless? I sent her the screenshots. After a pause, she said, that doesn't sound like my Lauren. She learned Lauren had been working at an ad agency downtown, but had quit to plan the wedding. Lauren still had access to some wedding vendor accounts. The venue emailed me. Hi, Mr. Thompson, confirming your request to move the wedding to next weekend and add the deluxe champagne tower. Your new balance is $47,000. $47,000. She pushed the wedding date forward, added every upgrade, and invited 200 extra guests. The catering bill alone exceeded the cost of a car. I called the venue immediately. We can set, cancel, or make changes without both parties set consent, the coordinator said. It sets in the contract. She's not my fiancée anymore. The wedding is off, I replied. I understand, but legally, what if my lawyer issues a cease and desist and a notice of intent to report wire fraud if you process her changes? Silence followed. What evidence do you have? Mark sent them a package within the hour, the eviction notice, screenshots, and a stern letter. 20 minutes later, the venue's legal team called. They canceled everything, refunded my deposit, and banned her from the premises. Then it escalated. At 11 p.m., an unknown number called. I almost ignored it, but answered. Dawn said hang up, Lauren said. Her voice calm, almost icy. I can make this worth your while. My stomach dropped. I said I'm hanging up, I said. 10 seconds. I know about your crypto wallet, she continued. I'd mentioned it casually before. Not life-changing, but a decent amount. Are you threatening me? I asked. I set me negotiating. Give me $50,000, and I set me gone. No drama, no lawyers. Otherwise things get messy. I was recording, per Mark Set's advice. Lauren, are you trying to extort me? She laughed. Extortion, no. My stum offering a clean exit, legal fees, court, time off work. You pay $50,000 and you stir free. Counteroffer, go to hell, I said. She hung up. I immediately called Mark, my bank, and the crypto exchange. Everything was locked down with new passwords and two-factor authentication. The next morning, I received 47 login attempt alerts. She had tried. Attempting to hack financial accounts is a federal offense, and I had her recorded threatening it. Mark was thrilled. Andrew, she just handed us a felony on a silver platter. We filed a police report that afternoon. The cybercrime unit was highly interested, especially since Derek had left digital traces everywhere. Update. A month later, things got crazier. Derek was arrested 2 weeks ago. He cooperated immediately, providing texts, emails, and other evidence. Lauren had been planning this for over a year. I wasn't her first target, just her largest. The wildest part, Lauren had been running a side business teaching women romance scams. She had a website, testimonials, and a $499 course called Securing Your Destiny, a woman's guide to financial independence through strategic partnerships. Jessica, 29, one of Lauren's success stories, contacted me after the social media fallout. She'd convinced her boyfriend to buy her a car before he realized what was happening. She was persuasive, Jessica said. Framed as empowerment, it was meant to level the playing field. How'd that work out? I asked. She laughed dryly. She lost the car, the boyfriend, and most of her friends. Lauren ghosted her. Jessica wasn't alone. With her help, we found a cached version of Lauren's website. 12 women came forward with similar stories. Lauren had been running this scam for at least 3 years. Then came another twist. Mark called. Lauren sets pregnant. What? Not yours. Derek's. About 11 weeks. The timeline clicked. 11 weeks ago, she began pushing for the house deed. She was pregnant with another man's child and trying to lock in my assets. She submitted medical records to leverage in the criminal case. Derek, however, is in federal custody, facing 5-10 years for cybercrimes. He isn't supporting anyone. The prosecutor offered Lauren a plea deal, testify against Derek in exchange for 2 years probation, immediately shut down her business, and avoid jail, violate probation, and it's 3 years. First offense, pregnant. Bigger target is Derek. Her cooperation sealed his case. Mark secured another win, to avoid a civil trial for the extortion attempt. Lauren's lawyer agreed to a settlement, $50,000 for legal fees and emotional distress, plus returning the engagement ring. Lauren took the deal, admitting everything in court. The judge made her read from her website about strategic partnerships. She looked mortified. The settlement included $73,000 from her coaching scam, $15,000 from gifts she said he'd taken, plus the ring, and a $20,000 fine. She left the courtroom defeated, not scheming, hollow. Margaret, her mother, was there, visibly shaken, mouthing, I'm sorry. 3 months later, Lauren is living with her mother. The pregnancy is progressing, and she's working retail. Her website is gone. The settlement drained her savings, and Derek received 7 years in prison. Lauren's child will be in school before he's released. Sarah disappeared, deleted her socials, and moved states. Jessica started a new life. I'm doing okay, selling the engagement ring and donating proceeds to a women's shelter. The house is quiet, refreshed with new furniture, and a dog named Mark, much to my lawyer's amusement. Dating? Not yet. Trust issues linger, but therapy is helping. My therapist says I need to trust my instincts first. I still wonder, did she ever care? I'll never know, and maybe that's okay. Margaret texts occasionally with brief apologies. I don't respond. The women from Lauren's course created a support group, Lauren's Survivors. We meet monthly, sharing stories. Jessica is dating a social worker who finds the story unbelievable, but loves her anyway. Rachel, another survivor, launched a legitimate financial planning business for women, joking Lauren taught her what not to do. When asked if I regret posting the screenshots, I don't. Silence would have allowed her to target someone else. No extra revenge, no tidy ending, just people moving forward. If you experience betrayal like this, you're not foolish for trusting. They're accountable for violating it. Document everything. Hire a competent lawyer. Trust your instincts. They're usually right, and always double-check who you're texting. Sometimes arrogance saves lives. Peace out. Mark the dog needs his walk.